Welcome to the xthon. It's our first podcast named after the winning stack. Here we gather the brightest minds, champions of the hackathons, so they can unleash their secrets and how to win the hackathons. Today, our first podcast, and we're so glad we're having a great guy who won multiple hackathons. He's from Finland, and I'm really love. We'll have a great conversation today with him. It's Ville Toiviainen. Hi, Ville.
Hey, nice to be
Yeah,
part of the podcast. Thanks for the
that's
invite.
great. How do you feel today?
Really good. Really excited to see what we're gonna cover during this 20 minutes.
Yeah, it would be awesome. Yeah, so 20 minutes. We are in so hurry, like during the hackathon, limited by 48 hours
Yeah,
to make a
exactly.
great solution. Yeah. So actually, how I get know Willie, we met each other on the Junction hackathon when right 2 hours before the evaluation stage, Willie came to our team and proposed to review his solution. I don't know, Willie was really pretty and saying right words, so we were not possible to say no to this. Even we had some things to sort out before the evaluation starts. So yeah, we came to Willie's team table, and discovered his bright solution. So Willie, can you say a few words? What was your last solution on the Hack Junction, being last November in Helsinki?
Yeah, definitely. So last year we really wanted to do something with hardware, and we ended up picking a challenge partner who was having this issue that they are like a food producing factory. So there's like really strong, tough hygiene limitations. Basically means that people can't wear any like external devices or have any external devices. They can't touch anything and so on. So what we did is basically like a ultrasound like controller. So there's two ultrasound sensors, and you can use that with just like waving your hands, doing different commands, and that's how you control the computer that they needed to control to report some problems at the like factory. So yeah, really exciting thing. And it was
Yeah,
easy to market to you, right? Because I was also excited myself, right? So maybe
it's
it
very
was
nice. So, but I really would like to transfer this mood, like how I've been fascinated by this solution, like its simplicity. I think it would be nice if we can a little bit dig into the problem, like the challenge being said. It was
for sure.
HK Food provider.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a Finnish company producing some half prepared food. So, can you say a few words, like what was the challenge about? Like, what the solutions they were seeking for?
Yeah. So I think they were quite like open on the possible solution, but the problem was pretty much like defined this way that uh, in their factory, if something like problematic happens at, let's say, like a line one or line two or something like that, uh, it takes a long time before it reaches all the stations within the factories. And the reason is the hygiene, right? So you can use any devices. Actually, the people are also siloed, so you cannot leave your factory station and go to another place at all because the hygiene requirements. So that actually created a situations for them where some like problems that occurred during the process were not notified for other teams like half a day later, 1 day later, even in some cases. And you know that after that point, like everything will go to waste, right? So everything produced after the moment that the problem is discovered, after that everything goes to waste. And instead, if you would immediately be able to figure it out, right, and inform everybody, people would be aware and the food waste would be a way less. And of course, like financially, that would be a lot better situation as well. So what we did was this, like every station would have this controller, which you could use without touching anything to control this device where you can report, ask a manager to come in, and so on. And we just wanted to play around with also hardware, right? So that was one of the motivators for this kind of like approach. People went with different things, but we just wanted to use some hardware, and that sounded really nice, like a challenge for us.
Yeah, generally, it was the thing that's fascinated me because, like everyone on this hackathon, being considered like it's software case, but you made solution based on the hardware. So, Like, how was it possible? Because you had some custom details, like how it was possible during the hackathons where you came only with laptops.
Yeah. So of course we were a bit lucky that the hackathon was close to one of our teammates who had a 3D printer, for example, plus like the hardware parts. So like we just were lucky with the idea that it didn't require anything extra that we didn't already have, and we were able to use these tools. So that's how we were able to build the actual like product. In the early days, this hackathon had like 3D printers and some like freely usable hardware as well. But I think the hardware side is typically not so maybe like common, or people are not so capable of like delivering hardware stuff. So that's why they dropped it. So we had to use our own components. But for us, it was like, of course, completely fine. And I think the main thing to be able to even do that actually requires to have one hardware guy at least. And in our team, I'm not the one. I'm more of the computer guy, but Andreas was doing the hardware part, and he's a genius in that. So that was quite like important for us as well.
Yeah, it's really nice. Just add in a little the context. So HK Foods, the challenge keeper, was stating that this solution should be language agnostic. Like they having so many international people working on their production, and they cannot speak any English or Finnish. So it's like hundreds of languages, and it was really outside of the box solution when you can communicate using hands with the ultrasound sensor. Yeah, it's really nice. All of this assembled during the hackathon. I think that I really want to ask a question, like really how you would evaluate your efforts during the hackathon. Like you consumed all the 36 hours allocated for coding, or you were able to finish it earlier. How it was during the hackathon?
Yeah. So we have we've been participating this hackathon for many years with the same team. So we have a quite like I would say now like a static protocol that we use. So we use the Friday evening. So the hackathon starts at like Friday afternoon. So we use the afternoon and evening to talk with the possible like challenge partners, and then thinking about the problems, and then whatever problem really like starts to resonate with it, like with us, we like try to plan it further and further, and then hopefully during the Friday evening we lock the idea, but we always go to bed like then. So we never like do all nighter at Friday, because that will be it will be tough time end of the hackathon. So it's good to like have an idea, go to sleep, process that in your head, right, and start early in the morning. And then from the early morning we do as long as needed, and unfortunately always it means to the next morning. So when the hackathon ends, so like we've been lucky a couple of times where there's been like more than like 1 hour or 2 hours of sleep, but yeah, normally it goes so that we are producing the final video and the documents and everything at like 8 a.m. and the hackathon like ends at 10 a.m. on Sunday.
Oh, okay, that's awesome. So you outperform your competitors even with sleeping while other coding. So
maybe sometimes.
yeah, I would like to ask you about your team. So I know that you participate in hackathons for a very long time, since now and before. And is it was it always the same team, or like it been separate teams?
Yeah. So, like for example, for Junction, we have been 7 years there. 5 of those years we have been with 3 people. So me, Andreas, and Teemu. And then the last couple of years we have included a fourth person, like friend of a Teemu, Julian, to help with the front end side. So like with hackathons, you typically need something visual, right? And that means a lot of coding for the person who does the web app or the like phone app. So we felt that, or Teemu felt that he doesn't want anymore to suffer like the whole all-nighter at like final day. So we introduced a new member, which has been super nice. So it's always like great to have more people in the team.
Oh, that's awesome. And have you ever participated in any other hackathons in Junction?
Yeah. So if we think about our team, like people have been maybe in a couple of different ones. I personally have been like, of course, some like company hackathons. I don't know if those can be now considered to be real ones. Then during my student time, there was like one smaller one where I went, but it was more about like this student organization led thing, which it was not maybe a hackathon where you would compete. It was more like, let's do something together. So pretty much like majority of my hackathons have been Junction. But that's one of the best in Europe. So yeah, that's the reason why we go there. And it's also a tradition, right? So like we are waiting it like a Christmas every like year. So I think we would maybe consider a bit too old for it already. So it's maybe more like young people, but it's so fun that we still want to go, right?
Yeah, I'm feeling like I'm ready to join your tradition. Yeah, and participate it too every year. Okay, so you have a stable team, and could you say us a story like where you met these guys, where you met these folks? Yeah, would be better.
Yeah.
And how it happened. What was your first
Yeah.
hackathon?
Yeah. So like, um, I think Teemu and Andreas originally wanted to participate Junction. I knew Teemu from university, so then we were somehow chatting, or maybe I was saying that I am planning to participate as well, and then that's how the original team really came together. Andreas has been like once participating before that on his own, which he noticed that it's quite a struggle to do everything alone, so he wanted a team as well. So that's how the first like team got together. But then we also had a couple of extra members. So we were like 5 people originally. But then during the first hackathon, we a little bit like separated like what people wanted to do. And that's how we split and eventually like ended up with this like 3-person team that we are now like being for 5 years. And then we now have the 4th member. But that's how it went. So it was really like this, that hey, let's go with friends, let's have fun. And after that, things have a bit like changed, because now it's that we want to be with this like close group, because it's so easy to work with people that you know, right? But originally just like let's have fun and see where it goes.
Okay, that's really nice. And so you mentioned that you got out to university. Where have you been studying? Like how to become such a bright star? We love to know your story, like from where you started, what university, what you have been learning.
Yeah, I think my like background is a combination of like lucky company picks for early like work and then and university as well. So like I learned coding actually at the university, so I didn't know too much about coding before that. That like I was in computer science at Aalto University, which is one of the biggest universities in Finland and Helsinki. And then I was lucky enough to work with a company called Volt in the early days. So during my studies, I was there doing the career app. And I think like both of these sides, like actually the applied side at work and then the theoretical side at university, have been a perfect mixture for me. And then I like eventually did my master's at machine learning and data mining. So that's how I gained the AI skills.
Okay, nice. And but what was the university name? I maybe missed it.
University's name, Aalto University.
Yeah, Aalto University. Okay, it's in Finland, correct?
Yeah, Helsinki or Espoo, Finland, but it's close to Helsinki. So yeah.
Okay, nice. Yeah, Espoo is really very, very close to Finland. So I think that actually last junction being performed at the place where it's bridged to Espoo. Yeah, right from Helsinki.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, very close. And originally,
Yeah.
Junction was in Espoo, actually at the premises of Aalto University. Yeah.
Okay, nice. Could you say us a little bit about roles in your team? Like, what's your role, and what are the roles of your current setup?
Yeah, that's a really good question, because like originally, like I said, we were just like group of friends and we just wanted to have fun, right? And we didn't really pay that much attention what people were doing. But after the first hackathon, we like really organically find like each of us found their like position in a team, and that's been very very important for us with the follow up years, because it's so much easier when you know like what you can do the best and what somebody else can do really well. So for example, my side, like basically responsibilities are AI and backend. Andreas is the all-arounder. He can do anything, but he typically wants to be at the backend infra AI and now the hardware side as well. And then Teemu is fully focused on the UIs. Is it mobile, web, doesn't matter. And then Julian did the same. So they both are covering the UI part. plus then the video making and stuff like that. So hackathons actually contain quite a lot of also stuff outside of coding.
How do you think it's really important to have a strict role structure in the team during hackathon, or like you can imagine any kind of anarchy, or I don't know, only managers? Yeah, how it should be in your opinion?
Yeah, at least I feel that no manager should be there. That would be painful hackathon. but like I'm sure that some people like can squeeze out good stuff out of a chaos as well. And chaos can be in the beginning, right? And the planning phase is really good to have everybody like just throwing out ideas in a very like comfortable environment, right? But once you really like, because the time is so limited, right? And the level of like stuff that you need to do is quite high because people are judging this, right? So they can't say anything good if they don't like see it working, and they don't believe you if they can't like use the app or the hardware you build. So like just to be able to deliver everything, I think you need to be laser focused on the stuff that you are supposed to do. And typically like the things are not so difficult that you would need to constantly like iterate with multiple people, so you can plan it quite well, then start to like do your stuff, and then catch up and quickly talk, reiterate, and then once again focus. So like yeah, we are quite like I would say in siloed mode when we start to code, right? So everybody's like the laptop open and then like let's do it. But I'm sure that it's not so easy for many others. For example, when you're first time, right? So if you don't know the people and so on, like it's more difficult. But we know each other well. Yeah.
Do you have any Jira during the hackathon?
Jira, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm doing my best at work to not use it, but yeah, I
I
think I would not
know
go to hackathons.
why you won. Yeah, because our team and I think a lot of others being consistent only from managers. So this is a
Yeah,
secret. Yeah, you should have as much coders and engineers as possible. Correct?
yeah, I think it will help for sure. But there's a lot of like also good tasks for non-coders. So if somebody is now listening and like, oh no, I don't know coding too much, like can I join a hackathon? Like definitely, like as you were there, right? So the video output is very important. Just like having a good idea of the plan, drafting a written description for the plan, and so on. And of course the ideation, like there's a lot of like room, and designing as well. So if you're a designer, like there's a lot of usage for you as well. So doesn't need to be coding. But if you just want to boss around people and like create tickets, maybe hackathon not the first place.
Yeah, okay, it's nice. So, and how many hackathon have you participated with your team? Like approximately, maybe you cannot remember everything, including these like company hackathons, not only like very public events.
Yeah, maybe I don't know, maybe 10 or something. 7 junctions. I think that's the main number to keep in mind. Rest time, yeah, like somewhere around 10. Yeah.
Somewhere. Okay, okay, nice. And how much money have you won out of all the hackathons in total?
Yeah, we've been super lucky. So the first 2 years we won. The main prize was 20K, so that adds up to 40 in total from the main prizes. Then during the first year there was this like side event happening at Slush, if you know the conference in Finland for like startups and VCs. And we won 3,000 from that, just from the presentation. So we basically were presenting the same project. So that's why I included also the prize money. Then like every challenge and track win, so not the main prize win, those have been probably 5,000 in total. And then now last year we were second with 5,000 euros. So that like roughly something like 5,000. So yeah, being good
Gosh,
times.
it's more than 50K
50,000,
in
sorry.
total.
Yeah.
It's more than 50K in total, yeah, per
Yeah,
like 3
something like
people.
that. Yeah.
Wow,
But
this
now
this
like
is
the last
incredible.
one was with four people, right? So yeah. So the
Ah,
last
nice. So
5,000
you
was with 4 people.
need to
Yeah.
split for a little bit more people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. We
it's
need to
a
earn more.
it's like a trade-off. Yeah, you have more people, more chances to do something beautiful, but managing stagnation because more people, more ideas. But also, you should split money for more people. So, what's a like a golden standard? What the size of a team should be upon your mind?
I would say like 5 is max. Like the more you have cooks, the more you have communication, right? That's required, and getting everybody on the same page and so on. Like I would say optimal is 3 to 4, and maybe even 4 nowadays is better because you have so much like this video stuff and other things besides the technical side which requires attention. So if you want to have a smooth hackathon where you have time to sleep and enjoy other stuff, then the laptop as well. So then 4 would be optimal in my opinion. But last year the winner was single guy, right? So one person only. So like then you get the 10K and you can enjoy the whole money, right? So, but of course, like the money is not the thing with the hackathons, but if we want to joke around a bit, but
Yeah, that's nice. So, anyways, it's like you participate in hackathons and you generating about 5K per each hackathon in average. Just to like a question mentioned that you can enjoy the whole money, but the hackathon, is it for fun, for money, or for really launching a new idea? Like what the hackathon is for you?
yeah. For us, I think it's nowadays mostly just to hang out the weekend with this group, our team. So we're really close friends from that perspective as well. And we also like a little bit the competition, right? So if it would be a hackathon without any competition, I think we would be not so maybe keen to join. So the competition is important. The money is like, of course, nice when you win it, but like it's so like difficult to get it. So if you would just like want to get the prizes every year, impossible, right? So yeah, definitely like the having fun and competing and really like challenging yourself as well, right? So it can be surprisingly difficult to deliver something end-to-end working in a 48 hours. So even though it wouldn't be that much of a work, right? But somehow like it's not always that easy, right, to complete everything. So it's like even for work perspective, it's giving you a lot of like certain skill sets that are required if you want to deliver quickly something. So you have to use the first principle thinking. You only do the stuff that matters. You skip everything else. You just want it to work, right? And then you always have to have the wow factor, right? Something that gets you excited, right? So when you come to our station, right, and see the project, like you have to be excited. Otherwise, like there's no way that you're going to succeed. So thinking all of that and making it happen, it's really like interesting and like motivating kind of a event and situation. So yeah, that's for us. I think everybody in the team thinks pretty much the same way. So.
Yeah, that's nice. At least you having same values in your team, so you can head in same direction. Uh,
Mm.
like I see you really experienced hacker, and just was wondering, if imagine that everything is possible. Yeah, you can transform
Mm.
the world whatever you want. Do you have any ideas what can be the hackathon of new era? Like what to change, or maybe not changing anything? Like what's your ideal hackathon? What ideas you can propose?
Yeah, that's a really good question and a difficult one. So I think we are now in a moment where like hackathons will change completely because you're able to generate so much code and other like stuff with AI, right? So people are capable of like delivering 10x more complex projects. So that can like change quite a bit, like what you are expected to achieve if you want to be on top, right? So you have to be able to use all these tools successfully, otherwise you're just like too slow. But the essence and the core of hackathons, which is like just doing something cool, something unseen, something new, figuring out stuff, I think that will stay exactly as it is. And also like to deliver a great hackathon, you don't want to have any like obstacles for those like core values, I would say. So if the hackathon would be only like about winning, people would of course optimize for the whatever it takes to win. That's taking something out of the creativity for sure. Or then if the hackathon is fully like just to fulfill the needs of the hackathon partners, right? Then people will also do that, but they lose all the like creativity once again, maybe like sometimes the limitations give you creativity as well, right? But if you're just like you have to do something that you don't enjoy at all, but otherwise if you don't do it, it's not like valued, that would be horrible. So I think the concept of hackathon will stay quite like stable, but then what we will get during the hackathons will get crazy, like that's for sure.
Yeah, that's nice. Anyways, I would say that any hackathon I've been participating in my life, including Junction, is having sponsors who are providing the problems to solve during the hackathon, or it's like some media space. Anyways, they give money for prize fund for organizing the hackathon. What do you think they receive from the hackathon itself? Like, why they continue their sponsorship for such kind of events?
Yeah, I think some companies get a lot out of it, but it requires you to be quite involved as well. So hackathons are not the place where you have your like logo up and then you have your HR team hanging out there. Like that's not how it goes. Like if you want to get like most out of it. So you want to have something real that you are maybe experiencing, some problem that you have that you're trying to solve, or you want some new ideas. Make it so that it's quite like a high level, so people can do a lot of different things to solve it, right? And then put your best people or people that are excited about the hackathon as well from your company to be there, hang out, ask questions from the team, help the team, collaborate, and so on. Because I think like the best thing that a company can get from a hackathon is that they spot the certain mindset that like some participants have that they could really like value at their company as well, and then of course trying to get them recruited, or of course get like good ideas for themselves throughout the like project and so on. So I would say like it requires participation from the company and really like pushing themselves also to like get most out of it from the event. So it's not just like that some market team agrees that, hey, let's do it, and then you send HR people there and that's it. Of course, you can do it that way as well. There's nothing wrong with that side, but I think then you don't get most out of it.
Yeah. Upon your experience, like maybe not exactly your team, but can you provide any example when partners received something really interesting from their participants on a hackathons, maybe some insights, ideas, MVPs, whatever you would like to highlight?
Yeah. I know some. I can't now concretely remember the examples, unfortunately. In our case, like the first hackathon win, so the project that we did was like you can put your phone on your car dashboard, and you are like a city worker. So you're basically doing like street maintenance and so on. We created an app which was recording the route that you were driving and then automatically detecting all the traffic signs and then classifying them to be broken or not. And then after you have done your normal like routine route, driven that, you would be getting a like automated report that, hey, you need to fix this and this like traffic sign. And that project, they already actually had something similar ongoing with some like consultancy partner. So that was like a big surprise for us. So they never like revealed that anything like that has been doing. So we were like hitting on a nail, right? So something that they were already planning. So I guess that's something, even though we were a bit late, right? So like instead of getting ideas from us, we were actually like copying an idea that they were already doing.
Yeah.
So that's one thing from us. But otherwise, like none of our project has really reached a state that they would have come back to us and say that, hey, we are using. But I don't think like companies are not returning to the teams and saying if they got some ideas. So unfortunately, I don't have any more like concrete examples. But I'm sure that if you would talk with the Junction organizers, like I'm sure that they would have a longer list. Yeah.
Yes, it's nice. We start getting run out of time, but I would like to ask a few other inspirational questions. And yeah, so have you ever been scared during the hackathon, like being nervous, anxious before it starts, or something like this?
Yeah, maybe not like these last years more, because you know what you are trying to get right, and like I said, we are a little bit competitive, so we want to get the third one right, so third win, so that gets always us like excited, and you remember like the emotional connection is always like wow, this new stuff is now happening again, and you feel really little bit like butterflies in your stomach, but like I guess like many are in the first time, like especially if you don't have a team, right, that can feel scary. And if you are like a bit fresh with coding, that you are maybe not so like confident in yourself, like that can feel maybe a bit worrying. But I had the luxury of joining with my friends for the first one, and I had no like idea what it will take or what it will happen there. So I was just like an open book and joining there and having fun. So yeah, I don't remember it feeling that stressful. Yeah.
Yeah. Do
And
you
the
have any
atmosphere, like you were
secret?
in Junction, right? So you know, like it's super chill. People are really like nice, and like immediately when you get in, you realize that okay, there's nothing to be scared of, right? But it's a normal feeling. So anything new happening, like that's normal to feel. Yeah.
Do you have any secrets how to put any relief on this stress?
Mm. Definitely go with
I
the
prefer
flow.
to
Like
eat.
yeah, yeah. Go. I would say like just go with the flow. Like you remember how like immersive the whole thing is with the lights and everything. So like you enter into a new basically world. They have done really good job at the atmosphere of the like location, right? So like yeah, just go with the flow and see where it goes and never give up, right? So you only have the 48 hours. So just tolerate that, and after that you can give up, right? But never give up during the event. So that's my like tip.
Yeah, as Willie saying, never give up is such a wonderful life.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think it's very last inspirational question about the hackathon. I think it's the most important part. To become winner, somebody should assign you a winnership. And what like evaluation systems you know from the hackathons? Like in Junction, I know it's a peer review. Have it been always be like this, or yeah, what methods to evaluate participants you know?
Yeah, I've seen like couple of um, like review like let's say like versions and then like multiple nuances for like single version. So originally it was like expert review. I would maybe personally like give some like proportion for expert review as well in the future. I think it's really good. Also, it's very nice for many people to hear like good words from industry experts, right? That they maybe value and trust. And that also uh, ensures that maybe certain project where there's a lot of like coding effort and not just like the vision effort or the idea effort will get like moved into the finals as well. But then I think the peer review system, which is currently like how Junction, for example, does it, it's really important as well because everybody wants to participate, right? It's the only way to get people excited about the other project, right? So that's how you came to our station as well to check it and so on. So I would do like personally, I would do a mixture. But the main issue maybe with the peer review is that you have quite like a short amount of time to really like get somebody excited. And especially if there's any like online option, it's easily get so that you're just checking the video, right, and not actually the thing that people have done. And it's really hard to get the full impression from the video. And also like you want to meet people, right? You want to make new connections. You want to do yeah meet new cool people. So that's how like going from team to team reviewing stuff is very important. Yeah.
So
But
okay,
yeah, my
let's
final answer would be a mixture. Yeah, mixture of these two.
so if I get it clearly, we have two options like expert review or peer review, where
Mm.
other participants evaluate your team. Could you propose any like hack methods how to behave better to have more chances to win? Like let's start with
Mm.
expert evaluation, like what to prepare, how to pitch, so having better chances to put a better impression and as a consequence win.
Yeah. I would say like with the expert review, like you have to have, of course, everything solid, like the like description of it, the code part, the UIs, everything that's visual. But you don't need to have maybe that much like wow factor. So the expert typically like know what they are like looking into, right? They are willing to maybe invest a bit more time. They are maybe better at filtering like, okay, these guys are or these projects are very like interesting. Let me spend more time there. Maybe these one I can clearly see that are good attempts, but maybe not the best for this like hackathon. So that's maybe the expert review. Really difficult to say more depending on the case. If it's like like the customers, for example, or the partners, like they have their own way of always like reviewing, which is completely unclear for you unless you ask, and maybe they say, maybe they don't. So that's a bit harder side, except that you want to, of course, like all the visual and visible stuff to be as like easily understandable and clean as possible. But then with the peer review, there's one thing: you need wow factor, and it doesn't matter where it is. So if you have a video where cool stuff is happening, but your app is very simple, that can lead to victory, right? Or if you have the most like coolest algorithm ever, but there's no visuals, there's nothing that makes everybody understand the algorithm, like you are not going to win anything, even though like you would be like creating something that's never seen in the world, right? So you have to somehow be able to visualize it, somehow able to communicate that everybody understands the beauty of that thing, which is super hard, right? If it's just an algorithm or something happening in the back end. And I think that's the biggest limitation of like peer review. So you can imagine that there's many different skill levels. People value completely different things. But if you have something that's wow, right? For example, the ultrasound sensors, like you were able to like move stuff without touching anything, and there was lights blinking and everything. So that's how you get the wow factor, right? So
yeah. But
yeah.
so what was your secret? Like you catched many people and brought them to your station to present your solution, so they click like, yes, I vote for Ville, or how do you think? What's make the biggest effort for your win in peer review? What do you think?
I would say the video and then the like actual demo. So we always do end-to-end product, so it works. So it's not like that we are faking something. So the more we get people to see it, the better, right? Originally, it was like mandatory to come to your station, so there was no need to get any people there, right? But they were using the apps and websites and so on. And now, like in this event, like we just wanted to get more people involved. Also, because it was like a way easier for us to demo the controller when people were like using it. And I just personally love the feeling what you get like when you see somebody excited, right? So that's how also like it's important to get people to check your stuff.
Yeah, it's for sure. But anyways, what do you think it's like the major factor, major artifact people are reacting on during the peer review? Like for me, I honestly can say that I've been trying to watch all the screenshots people are touching,
Mm.
watch the video in full, and if something caught me during the video, I was going into the programming code, and like it's my personal perception. But to be honest, I saw many people sitting on a table. Sitting in front of the table, in front of the laptop, and just clicking yes, no, yes, no. Like I had an impression that they're basing only on the screenshots they see first about the team. So, like, what's the most major up on your mind?
Yeah. I think like if you have just like a very clean and easily understandable like this project page which you are now referring, right? So when you do the review, like that's probably the most important to get their attention, right? So like the limitation of time in hackathons is so rough that like just like maybe half or one third really can reach even the level where you are able to present something really well. So that will give you already a head start, right? And then the video is next. So you want to be very good with the video. Of course, the code and everything you want to link there. Not everybody is able to read it. Some people are not able to or don't like really value it so much. We personally always like if I don't see code, I'm always like no. And then the final is the demo, and that's basically all it takes. And depending on how the review system works, like for example, what Junction is using is it doesn't really require that many votes to get you into the finals even. So it's like mostly actually gathering attention towards projects that are somehow like close to with other project, right? So then they want more and more votes to really decide which of them is better. But the ones that are solid from the beginning, like everybody is basically saying immediately that yes, they are maybe not even getting that many like final votes sometimes, except for the final 10. That's a different thing, but for the like main peer review system. So one year we were quite like worried that nobody came to our like post, even though like it was fully like that you needed to go like next to the team and check it out. But the reason was that everybody like original, like the first people who came were always saying that yes, 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 yes. So the algorithm was like, okay, this is a clear case. We can let the guys go forward with the next stage. But we were worried that what's happening. Nobody likes us.
Exactly. Yeah. To wrap up this topic, I just wanted to ask, like, what would you suggest as a main focus when you pitching, like expert review? What you will put focus on, like how much you did or whatever.
Yeah, I would say it's a bit paradoxical. I would put focus on the stuff that's not important to say. So you have a project, you have some core idea behind it, like make sure that that's immediately understandable, meaning like within the first 10 seconds when you talk about it. And like people always want to include this idea and this feature and this and that, but like when you're listening, like you don't have capacity for that, so you only have like room for one message, and that has to be clear. So for the pitching like part, yeah, definitely just like take everything unnecessary out, focus on the core, and make it so that it's catchy and quickly understandable.
Yeah. Really nice. Thank you so much. It was fascinating conversation. I would like to finish it with a short blitz. So I ask you to answer quickly and shortly, but not necessary. If you feel you would like to like cover this topic wider, don't hesitate. But let's try to make it quick. So are you ready to start?
Sure, let's go.
Okay, let's go. So top 3 skills for hacker.
Coding, AI, and good written content.
Okay, great. So, what's the fair price value for the first for the winner during the hackathon?
10K is good.
10K is good. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, if you were a hacker, but not hacker who making hackathons or participating hackathons, but a hacker who like trying to get into the Pentagon or things like this. So would you be a white or dark hacker?
I think I have to say white.
have to. Okay, we got your hint. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, hack for fun or try to resolve challenge of sponsor?
Yeah, fun for sure. Fun for sure. Yeah.
Fun for sure. Okay, sleep or code?
Code.
Code, but you told during the interview
Yeah,
that
only
you prefer
first
to
night.
sleep
That's only accepted then, but the last night
okay.
is full on, yeah.
Okay, that's why you've been so fresh. You mentioned me that you didn't sleep the second night, but you were like you just woke up after the 20 hours sleep, despite of our
we have gained some tolerance for that.
Okay, regarding work, what you choose, big tech or startup?
Startups.
Startup, yeah. What's you value the most in startup?
The environment where you are closer to actually hackathon world as well, right? So you can do bigger things. You are actually in a rush often, so you need to deliver, same as in hackathon, right? 48 hours. In a startup, like 2 weeks is a long time, and yeah, you don't have any like friction, like things just like it's a chaos, right? But you can do stuff freely, which is super nice.
So kind of you living through a hackathon permanently.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. But I sleep normally. So in my normal life, I value a good night's sleep, maybe the most. So
Okay, nice. Build a team with friends or with like world-known experts?
I know this should be like a quick answer. This is hard because like both have their pros and cons, right? But I have to go with the French, right? Because we have been doing that way, and it's really great.
Yeah, but it can be tetralemma from Kibida here. Like it may be not black or white. Maybe it's
Definitely.
highly
Yeah.
experted friends. Yeah.
Yeah, and if I would go more often, for example, I think it would be really like refreshing, just to see like how it's with different people, because I think you can learn a lot when you work with other people, and even in a like work context, you are quite often with the same people, right? So this way of like quickly iterating something with completely new people is really like great experience.
Okay, nice. So I ask you to concentrate a lot. So we're gonna to put a special word on a sticker, and right now it will be question where we create this word. So if you have only one word to say to the team yet starting the hackathon and they really want to win, and again you have only one word, what's the word it will be you say to them?
Wow, this is like this, one word.
Yeah, take your time, no rush. Yeah, only one word.
Mm, I would say luck. So you have to be a bit lucky, right, with everything, with the team that you select, right, with all the work that you do. So also to motivate people, maybe that like if you don't win or you don't succeed in the first time, like sometimes it's actually that you were not just lucky. Yeah. So luck.
Like
Yeah.
it goes to the wall. We gonna collect the stickers during our future podcast. So yeah, being lucky, that's great. Thank you so much for telling a lot. It was incredibly fascinating communication. I think that we unleashed lots of insights. I would say personally for me as a hacker too. So it was really great conversation. So really, thank you very much. I wish you great luck with the future hackathons. Hopefully, we met each other on some future events, maybe Junction 2025. I was wondering, like, if you would like people reaching out to you. So, what contacts you prefer we to state here?
Yeah. So I prefer LinkedIn, and hopefully you guys can put the link here. So then reach me at LinkedIn.
That's really nice. So, guys, I prefer you. I propose you to reach out, really asking any question you have. Also, subscribe us on Hack UU in Instagram, xthon UU in Instagram. Yeah, follow us, join us, and stay tuned. Propose your questions. We're happy to answer them. Thank you so much. Really, it was a extremely great pleasure having this
Yeah.
very first yeah, xthon the winner stack podcast.
Thanks for hosting. It was a pleasure.